Ladies and gentlemen, lock your doors, hide your timeline. He's back. Out from the shadows, dripping neon green, breaking every narrative you've ever seen. Static in the signal, glitching through the feed. Too loud to cancel, too strange to concede. The mask, the myth, the legend. You tears while the internet trembles and the comment section burns. Shells aplenty lining up in rows, selling yesterday's stories everybody knows. But slime keeps laughing through the smoke and the noise, turning panic into psychedelic toys. Round and round the headlines spin. Who's cashing out and who's cashing in? Nothing's sacred, nothing's clean. Welcome to the weird scene. The mask, the mask, the legend. Slime is back and undeterred. Turn it up, let the speakers bend. Truth and fiction start to blend. Through the chaos, through the blur, Slime is back and undeterred. Every rabbit hole's got another door. Every expert wants a little bit more. Theories bouncing off a mirrored wall. Who wrote the script behind it all? They say Exit was a psyop show, state sponsored, that's what the whispers know. Whether smoke or whether fire, the speculation climbs higher and higher. Chills aplenty flooding every lane. Different faces, same old game. But Slime's still surfing the electric tide, with a grin too wide to hide. Neon mushrooms on the newsroom floor, feedback screaming through the corridor. Conspiracies dancing with celebrity lore. Open your mind or close the door. The mask, the mask, the legend. Slime is back and undeterred. Psychic thunder in your head. Question everything you've read. Ride the wave, embrace the slur. Slime is back and undeterred. Slimiest pockets, where the signal gets stranger and the slime never sleeps.
Afternoon, everybody. We okay? How are we doing? Another test stream, just to see how I can get on without a Ethernet cable. I've been meaning to connect my Wi-Fi repeaters or Wi-Fi extenders since I moved into this house, but for some reason, when we moved in, the Wi-Fi router was plugged in first, and then we moved the sofa in, and somehow Mrs. Slime smashed the sofa into the router, and it's been on death's door ever since, the router. So we can't physically we can't connect it by pressing the WPS button. We have to use an Ethernet cable, which I've been doing since I've been live streaming. Since I started live streaming last year from this room, meaning to run a long cable through downstairs, because unfortunately the Wi-Fi on the PC is not strong enough, because the wall in between the two rooms down here it's a chimney wall. It's a fireplace wall, so it's quite thick. So the Wi-Fi alone doesn't work that well for the PC streaming anyway. Which previously, when I streamed without an Ethernet cable, my signal would cut out a lot and music would not play properly. Fortunately, without having to use the WPS function, I've now been able to access the back room of the Wi-Fi repeater, and now I can hopefully I can stream now without having to use a very long Wi-Fi Ethernet cable. Hopefully the repeater holds out. It's touch wood, all good so far. So I had 2 repeaters as well, and I didn't know which one was which because I threw away the instructions and they don't have a name on them. So yeah, how are we all doing? Are we well? Again, this is a test run. I'm just practicing getting my swag on. I would suggest watching this on the Slime Undeterred channel to join in the chat properly. We're streaming on 2 channels. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to both. This is an 18+ stream. Streams may contain strong language, unfiltered opinions, and possibly triggering content, leaving no slime unturned. Who will come out unscathed? Who will be slime next? Could be good evening to some people watching. Good afternoon in the UK, from the UK. Jasia says, I live in a small bungalow in a village and the walls are thick. I have a Wi-Fi extender in each room. They are good when you're able to use them, but it's doing the job. I've just literally figured it out. I plugged it all in before going live just now. So touch wood. I didn't want to have to drill holes and put the Ethernet cable through the wall either, because it's a fireplace wall and I don't know there's gas pipes in that wall as well, and I'm not going to go through that. So now that I haven't got to use an Ethernet cable, it means I can keep the doors shut as well. So it means less disturbance for Mrs. Slime and the baby when they're upstairs. Hello, Defender, you see her? If anyone's watching, I am possibly, most likely going to be on for a few minutes. It could be a few minutes, it could be half an hour, it could be an hour, or even longer. I have no idea. This is pretty much just a test stream. So if I have to dash off, I apologise in advance. So I'm just Going to put the link out. I mean, I might not be able to stay on. I might have to dash off, so I do apologise. But I'm happy to put the link out. I would suggest not coming on to chat about anything serious if, as I may not be able to stay around for too long. But if you want a general chit chat, that's fine. I'm just trying out a few things. Presentation. So bear with me a second. So that's looking good. That's all working well. I'm pleased about that. I am very pleased. That's good. That is very good. Very good, very nice. £1 fish, £1 fish, £1 fish, £1 fish, £1 fish. I've been preparing a video to go alongside a live stream coming up soon. So just getting the dots gathered. I'm going to play, let's see, let me go back to, where's the layout changed? I hate the layout changes. Where's the, oh yeah. Do, 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 do. It's already dropped the signal, so that's glad to be trying it out. It's just dropped. I don't know why. That's really annoying. How the hell did that drop? It's going to Poland. Hope you have a good time. The signal.
Ladies and gentlemen, lock your doors. Your timeline. He's back. Out from the shadows, dripping neon green. Breaking every narrative you've ever seen. Static in the signal, glitching through the feed. Too loud to cancel, too strange to conceive. The mask, the myth, the legend. You tears while the internet trembles and the comment section burns. Shells aplenty lining up in rows, selling yesterday's stories everybody knows. But slime keeps laughing through the smoke and the noise, turning panic into psychedelic toys. Round and round the headlines spin. Who's cashing out and who's cashing in? Nothing sacred, nothing clean. Welcome to the waiting scene. The mask, the mask, the legend. Slime is back and undeterred.
Turn it up, let the speakers bend. Truth and fiction start to blend. Through the chaos, through the blur, Slime is back and undeterred. Every rabbit hole's got another door. Every expert wants a little bit more. Theories bouncing off a mirrored wall. Who wrote the script behind it all? They say Mexit was a psyop show. State sponsored, that's what the whispers know. Whether smoke or whether fire, the speculation climbs higher and higher. Chills aplenty flooding every lane. Different faces, same old game. But Slime's still surfing the electric tide with a grin too wide to hide.
Young mushrooms on the newsroom floor, feedback screaming through the corridor. Conspiracies dancing with celebrity lore. Open your mind or close the door.
The mask, the mask, the legend. Slime is back and undeterred. Psychic thunder in your head. Question everything you've read. Ride the wave, embrace the slur. Slime is back and undeterred. Slimiest podcast.
Where the signal gets
Hello, Cheryl. Yeah, sorry. I've just played the music while I was trying to configure the Ethernet settings for this connection I'm using now. I've been able to sort out my wife by repeater, and it's saying there's no problem. So I was running a test while the video playing. So why it dropped out already, I don't know, but it's saying that there's no problem. So I might have to do an update on the actual extender itself, saying doesn't seem to be a problem. So I'm not sure. Diagnostics, you say there's no problem. So um, hopefully, yeah. I've just come on to basically do some more tests on the. So it's not anyone's welcome to come up. I might have to dash off at any point, but unannounced. But if anyone wants a chit chat while I'm mucking about, feel free to come up. Otherwise, chat amongst yourselves if you wish. No biggie to me. Okay, now I can't even post in the chat, which is weird. Can I? Oh, there we go. Oh, thanks for that, Cheryl, about the tune. It's a new intro, but um, no doubt I'll get copyright struck for my own music again. So who knows? Eh? By the way, oh, wrong old. No, it's not a replay. What have I pressed that for? Oh, balls. Hang on. No, it's not a replay. And sorry about that. What's everyone up to then? Alex, you there?
Yeah, fine.
Alex, you there?
I'm here. Oh, it's a really bad reception, I think. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, but it's quite crackly.
Yeah, no, it's mad. Let me turn my phone off and on.
Okay. You okay, Alex?
Yeah, yeah. Is that better or?
That's fine, I think.
Oh, you're cracking up. It's definitely not me because I'm on 5G and I'm nearly at full bars. So, and I've turned my phone off and on again. So, yeah, definitely not my end.
Okay, I've had no one. I'm trying out my Wi-Fi repeater, my Ethernet adapter. So it might be me.
Okay.
So it most likely me. So, but you okay?
Yeah, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's fine now, the reception. So what, are you back on permanently then? Slime? Slime, if you're there, I can't hear you. Hello? Can someone say if they can hear me? Because I can't hear Slime. Like, I can't hear anything. Um, Let me have a look. Like, if someone can hear me, could you just say in the chat, like, they can hear me?
Right. Sorry about that, Alex. I do apologise.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me, Slime?
Sorry, Alex. That my well, I've been. I did. I was running an update, and it did an update on my router, my Wi-Fi repeater, and it just decided to do it unannounced when I said to do it later tonight. So sorry about that.
That's all right. It's all right. Well, if you're testing it, then it's fine. So what,
It's a
you're back
test stream.
for...
It's a test stream in a way. So literally, I started the stream by saying I'm just doing tests and stuff because I've been reconfiguring my office. Anyway, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. Not too bad. Just all the shit that's going on recently has really been pissing me off. Um, don't know. It's just. Have you been following everything or?
I have followed absolutely nothing, Alex. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just choose not to watch it all now, if I'm being honest. Only
Yeah,
person I watch is Flop. I watch Flop, and that's it.
I tell you, it can drive you crazy. Like if you listen to like all of them, like Denise and Candor and MMD and all them lot, it can drive you insane. The hypocrisy is off the scales. You end up driving yourself mad just listening to these people. You know, you had Candor on earlier complaining about Michelle uh, stealing his content and putting a strike on their channel, all while MMD is playing Michelle's live from last night. Do you know what I mean? And you listen to these people and you're like, your brain's kind of exploding. Do you know what I mean? Just listening to them, like the hypocrisy that goes on with them, it can actually drive you mad. I mean, I watch it because I have to, because, I'm trying to call these people out, you know. Um, like yesterday, I had Rocker in my comment section threatening that he knows where Chloe Celeste works, and he's going to put it out there where she works. And then you
Who
had
said that? Who
Candle
said that? Who's doing
Rocker,
that?
Rocker, that one that's simping for Candle. He's Benefactor, the one that's funding him. He's just a new guy that appeared on the scene all of a sudden a few months ago, and
Oh,
he's
I
in
know who he is.
everyone's.
I've spoken to him. I know who he is. I don't
Oh,
particularly like. I don't like
no, he's a
Chloe, but
nasty piece.
I don't like Chloe, but I don't think Rocker's got has really got a really what's his interest in doing that. I don't know what
Well,
his.
he's doing it. He's doing it on behalf of Candor. They like to keep their hands clean. And they get other people to run about like Juanita. Doing the dirty work. But yeah, no, he just appeared on the scene a few months ago, and he's running around making threats in everyone's chats. He's got sock accounts coming in, doing all this stuff for Candor, basically. Um, And so you had that, and then you had Candle making threats to Isabella, and that he's digging into her. He's basically digging in to find out information about her. You know, trying to force an apology, or he's going to be digging into her. Um, then he was making threats towards Footsie that he's going to release information on her, and then all of a sudden MMD pops up. Making out saying that she's got a private investigator um, looking into multiple people as we speak, and she's not going to give up. And no matter what the cost, what the money is,
Alex, the whole when someone I don't care who it is, when they say they're going to hire a private investigator, we've heard that before. We had Gertie Rude claiming to have hired one, and they discovered that I work for a government agency. Apparently, it's all bullshit. There's more
it's
chance of
intimidation. Yeah.
there's more chance of them having contacted the Pope about this than there is a private detector.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people actually believe them, and they fear. I'm not going to name any names, but I've had people say that they are worried about when people say things like that, because it takes me back to when Trevor done the same. When he was on Denise's live, and he was talking about how he's spent thousands last year finding people's personal information, and he's got that on hold. If anything happens, he can use it. I don't even know what he was talking about, but the threat was there. Letting people know that they've got people's information. They're not saying who it is, but this MMD and Candor, they're how can I put it? They're a nasty little pair. Those two. That's all I can say about them. They're a nasty little pair together,
I will have to say, I literally so long as I mean, I've done my fair share of supporting people, coming to people's aid. So I felt like I can't do no more than what I've done. So long as those people don't want to, the people in question that you're mentioning and others, if they leave me alone, I'm prepared just to forget about them. Like, because I've done way above what I should have done, really, and done my fair share.
Well, you've
Like I
got
said,
other things to do.
everyone's welcome to
You've
start
got
their
other
own
things.
channel and do what they need to do.
Yeah. Well, you've got the baby now. You can't really invest the same time as someone like I can. It's literally an all-day thing with these people. One goes okay.
If I had the time and I had the energy, I would, of course, I'd be probably still getting to the truth and whatnot. But there's just so much. It just feels like a bit of a waste, if I'm being honest, Alex, because it gets nowhere. Because the people that the people that claim to want to get the truth, well, it's no good when they're giving credence to the people that they're moaning about. I get your channel. I get what you're doing. You have to go and watch. You have to go and you have to highlight what they're doing, because your channel, a bit like what mine was. You're exposing their behaviour, right? But other people who haven't got channels, they're instead of like they're moaning about these people, but they're not. But at the same time, they're promoting them by going around talking about them, but they haven't got their own channel to mention it. They're just literally making the comment section like it's almost like a pass the parcel.
Yeah, then I think it's difficult for people to. There's a lot of people that, I know what you're saying, but it's a new thing. People outing them because I'll tell you what, if you don't post what they're saying, they will bury it. When just recently we had Candor saying that he's going to find the address of Eric's daughter and his 5-year-old granddaughter. And what I found was Denise Burnside, Candor, well, obviously Candor did it, but you have channels like Burnside coming out trying to bury it and, divert everything away from the fact that Candor has made a threat to a mother and a child, a direct threat to find where they live. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're going to find out where they live. And if you don't put those clips forever on the internet, they'll bury it. They'll find another topic. Denise especially, she's there just to divert everything and do Fiona's bidding. That's all she's there for. She's like a second channel for Fiona and her crew. Dave Murphy and all of that lot, Samantha, Becky. She's just basically a second channel for them. That's all I'm trying to do is just put their clips out there, so they stay on the internet. I think that's important, to have them out there, because I mean, I don't really know. I can't really explain it, but though that whole group, 1 minute they're on Bron, the next minute they're on Gertie, the next minute they're on me. Candle done a live earlier, spent 40 minutes talking about me, and not a single person in his chat responded to what he was saying. He came on with Juanita, all guns blazing, showing an AI picture of me, overweight, kebab or whatever it is he does. They're laughing and joking, making all these things, and absolutely not a single person in the chat reacted or said anything about me or responded to it. You know what I mean? So, I think people are seeing through what these people are doing, but they just move on from one bit. It'll be Michelle tomorrow. It'll be me today.
Alex,
it'll be someone else.
It's not that. It's just that when you've got friends of your own friends in them chats and they know what the people are like and they moan about their behaviour and they go back and then they actually condone it by making by interacting in that chat and You know, I've got no problem.
Well, I've had,
I've got no problem with who goes where, but it's like
Yeah.
you can't moan about someone's behaviour and then go there and then act like nothing's happened and don't mention and don't call them out on it.
I think you're talking about the same lady that I had to go at a couple of days ago, or Misha.
I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
okay.
I have no interest in who you're talking about.
Yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about with that, because my issue with that is not only they're there, but they're funding him. You know, they're paying towards his membership to keep him going, and
I
you know,
really
that's
have no, Alex. I have no dog in the race on that one. I just merely I've made my point. You know, people can go where they want, but don't come running when they get abused and then go back there. It's Stockholm syndrome with people.
yeah.
The thing is, you wouldn't go to a pub, right? You wouldn't go to a pub, moan about how you're getting treated in the pub, and then keep going back. You wouldn't go back to get abused every time, would you? Or
No,
you wouldn't
sit
there, watch other people, your friends in that pub get. You wouldn't tolerate. You'd do something about it, or you'd fuck off, right?
Yeah, and I don't get that with Candor especially. You know, he's gone after Dave Murphy's kids. He brought them into it. Like, he's a bad father, and he doesn't spend time with them and all the rest of it. He done this, and he's run back to him, and and I'm like, it's his kids, it's his children. You know, you had Burnside as well. He went after her granddaughter, and now she's trying to spin it that it was Bron that had the pictures of his granddaughter. She might have done, I don't know. But Candor is the one that said we have those pictures for when they are needed, and then he started laughing. So you got all of this spin try. You got Denise that it's her granddaughter. You know what? She sent me all the emails from the police where she spoke to Durham police, and I posted them on my community page, the back and forth with the police officer that she was speaking to. She wanted him arrested. She thought he was that much of a threat. Because when, the way Candor said it, you don't know what people are going to do with those pictures. They might put them into, those dodgy sites or something like that. But you don't know, people do that. I can't see what else he would want with, a 7-year-old girl's pictures. What's he going to do with them? So, and then she's running back to him, giving him money for his share, giving him this, supporting him and all the rest of it. And I think the other day she was on Eric's, and he said to her, would you have Candor back on your channel after he threatened my, he said that he was going to stalk and find the address of my daughter and my granddaughter. And Denise, she wanted to say yes, but then she said only if he apologizes. He didn't apologize. She had him back on after a few days. And nobody's talking about, what he did, what he said about. I posted it all, his own words, what he said about his daughter and granddaughter, and all of them on the channel. None of them have picked him up on it. They're sitting there moaning about somebody's comment in a chat on a different channel, but they're not mentioning to him why. They've just accepted anything that he says. He's attacked everyone's children. Isabella, he's called her. What's he called Isabella's kid? That she's not feeding her and all that, she's abandoning her and all that kind of thing. He's done it with Dave's kids. He's done it with Eric's granddaughter. He's done it with Denise's granddaughter. I'm sure there's other people. Dave Murphy talked about his kids. And they all seem to just let it go. It's fine. And I don't get that. Kaz as well. He talked about her autistic child. He brought him into it. And they all seem to accept it. They run back to his channel, become members. Like Kaz didn't become a member, but Denise did. They all run back to his channel, and everything's forgiven.
What I don't understand is, Alex, what I don't understand is from my perspective is, I'm like considered mental for wanting to call out the likes of Gertie Rude and say Kaylee and Michelle, right? But it's okay for people to go and watch Candor who does who's not exposing anybody, but he's doing what you said he's doing. Why is it acceptable for people to go watch him, but they can't condone my behaviour?
That's the
Wanting the
question.
truth about what people have said about me. What's wrong with wanting to expose people for that?
Yeah, well, that's your thing. That's your
No, but
thing.
what
But I
I'm
think
saying is people
he
think.
seems to get away with it. I don't know. I don't know why he gets away with it.
I, I,
I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why people like Cats run back to him. I don't know why people like Denise.
I'm not mentioning names.
Like,
I'm just saying. Alex,
whatever.
I'm just saying. I think,
Yeah.
like I got moaned at for wanting for being adamant about wanting the truth to be put out there, but it just seems to be a block on it's all right for certain channels to behave a certain way, but if when I was doing things and it might have it's I don't understand it. It's all a circus.
Yeah, it blows your brain. I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around people on Candle's panel. That will sit there for an hour laughing at some AI picture like kids. And listening to him constantly attacking people, and then turn around and say, "This is a fun channel. We don't come here for dramas." You know what I mean? And they've been sitting there just the whole hour or 2 hours criticizing someone, and then Amy, that Linda, Rocco, all of those lot. His whole panel. They're just, I'm not going to say anything about Rena because I think she's just, she's just there. She gets involved every now and then, but I don't think she's that interested in all the dramas that are going on. She'll just kind of, slip a comment in here and there, and but it's the rest of them, your Juanitas and people like that. Um, I don't get it. Denise has turned out. I said months ago that she was going to be more dangerous than Candle, Denise. And people were laughing at me, going, "Oh no," But look at her now. It's completely gone to her head. Everything she's attacking. I think she hasn't gone alive recently without attacking somebody.
Who are you talking
with her
about?
little bullshit. Denise Burnside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's all I just find it funny how worthless I've been made to be, right? When it's like I've never threatened anybody yet.
yeah.
I'm not worth sticking around for, but it's quite somebody would rather go and watch and be a part of that community. Well,
Yeah, but you were doing good work at one point. You had over 300 and something subscribers, and I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, you said you're not going to talk about any of this lot anymore, and you started playing just music. And I think
yeah,
people wanted to I didn't understand now that I didn't get where that came from. All of a sudden, just not wanting to talk about any of it and just playing music. I think
I think there's people that told me not to do. There's people that were telling me not to do the things like not to expose people, basically.
yeah, well, you should listen to those people. How many people tell me to stop? They come on my channel and they're like, and you've got these people making our lives about me like earlier, and it's just like we just brush it off with these people. They are actually insane. When you actually listen to them, your MMPs and your Candles and your Denises, and they're actually insane. They'll go on for hours and hours and hours and hours just talking about moving from one person to the other. And they are actually, I think most of them are just insane. They're not normal. Um, And I think, you know, with people like Candor, he's basically whittled down to, you know, 3 or 4 people that will go on his panel, you know, Linda, you know, all those lot with an average age of like 70, you know, that will put up with him, you know, that will go along with his thing. He's lost so many panel members, and you go to Denise's channel, she's got exactly the same panel members every single live, and it's the same exact people in her comment section. Greg or Craig, whatever his name is, it's exactly the same people every single live, you know, and
Yeah.
they're in a bubble. There's no opposition. There's nobody there that can say, hold on a minute, you know, I don't agree with that. Denise Burnside recently said that she doesn't want anybody in her live to criticize Candor when he's up. You know, so she's basically given him free reign to go up on her panel, slag off anybody that he wants, and nobody is allowed to criticize him. You know what I mean? And these are the people that claim free speech. You know,
Why am I not allowed on these channels, Alex? There's a reason why I'm not allowed on, and I've not done anything like these people have done.
yeah. Well, they've probably been told not to have you on.
But why? You know, if all they say is I talk shit. If I just talk shit, well, you know, it's because I've got too much on people. It's because I talk the truth.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they can't handle that. You know, if you notice, they'll go on these panels and they'll tell people not to have this person up. I'm going down if you let this person up. Yeah, yeah. How many times have you heard Fiona say that? Oh, I'm going down if he comes up. You know, Candor. Well, I'm not. I'm going down if he comes up. You know, oh no, no, don't go, don't go. No, no, no. I'm not going to let him up. You know, you get a lot of that stuff. I think I already mentioned as well that they bait people that are not their supporters on other channels. You know, I had a bit of fun with Denise Gallagher a little while ago on MMDs, and she went in the chat. I think I already mentioned this, but she went in the chat and I phoned her up. I said to her, "Be careful, because Candle's going to bait you, so that he can take you down, so that he can have you removed from the chat." And then, like literally a couple of minutes later, Candle mentioned Gallagher, and he started calling her stupid and all this lot, waiting for a reaction. I think he called her crazy. She's crazy or something like that. Waiting for a reaction, and she did not react to him. And I spoke to her just as she was on the live going, I told you that's his MO. You know, they get rid of anybody that doesn't support them. And, you know, or they'll have their mods there threatening you not to, you know, we don't want any dramas or anything. Next thing, you're gonna be timed out. So there's a lot of that going on in these lives. And I think that's the reason they don't want you up, because you might ask those questions that they don't want to answer, you know, because the hypocrisy that goes on with all of them, you know, you could pick them out every 2 minutes. They open their mouth, there's something you can pick them up on and say, actually, you do that. You know, you're complaining that this person's doing it, but you're doing it right now. So I'm just, yeah, okay. From so, you know, and they don't like that. You know, they don't want anyone in the chat, or they'll put control or whatever, you know. And just left with now, just sterile channels, you know, your candles, they're just too sterile. Everybody's agreeing with everything they're saying. You know, nobody can question anything. You know, you have to agree with everything that's going on. But yeah, and I said it could drive you crazy listening to these people. You know, but have they actually said they don't want you up there? I mean, I think Candle's saying some nice things about you recently.
About who?
Candle, he's been saying some nice things about you recently. He hasn't been like slating you or anything like that.
Well, like I said, he's just agreed to sort of to be in this space, and I'm quite personally, from my own perspective, if you know, if he's not causing me shit, I won't give him grief. But I've done my bit of defending people, standing up for people. So, and it's been thrown back in my face a lot of the time. So, if people want to go back to Candor and they find him to be intolerable, that's them. That's that's on them for going back there. You can't. If they're going to keep platforming somebody and they're going to keep it, it's the only way you can stop somebody from being like that is by suffocating them in terms of the oxygen you give them online.
Yeah, yeah, and I think what's happening with him, his channel definitely going backwards. I think he's got like half. He's got half the views that he had like a few months ago. He's lost a lot of subscribers. He's repetitive, going over the same shit every single day. The same people, Tristina, Isabella. It's the same people every day. You know, and this little childish thing about doing these AI pictures and calling himself an artist. What's that all about? What is he, 10 years old? He's making AI pictures of people all the time and joking about it and laughing about it with grown adults, with 60-year-old women, and um, hold on. Are you there, Slime? Slime?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is playing up again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. I'm going to get a phone call
sorry,
soon from my mum. I'm going to get a phone call soon from my mum, so I might have to start off as soon as I get that.
That's all right. I've got that option anyway, so.
Yeah, and I'm not liking what MMD's doing as well. I'm not liking what she's doing at all. That, like I said, that pair up between her and Candor. Um, it's I don't know. It's the sarcasm, the threats that they're making to people. And I'm getting fed up with that idiot coming on there live all the time. What is he? MRH. He comes on all the time telling people not to talk about them while he's there talking about them. He was there today, and I could have put money on it that he was going to go up and say, we want to be left alone. We don't want people to talk about us. Yes, we're an item. No, she hasn't got a butterfly tattoo. Yes, I chased her. She didn't chase me. But can you please stop talking about us? Can you please stop mentioning us? Oh God, she went over to the USA. She had a subscriber, and she went over to the USA for basically a week-long shagging thing, and now she's back in the UK apparently. And he keeps announcing that they're an item every single flipping live. He's in a comment section doing hearts and doing little teddy bear things to her and everything like that, making it public that they're an item. And then he comes on to, telling people not to talk about them. Can you stop talking about us? And he does it every bloody time he goes on a live. I don't get it. People are talking about Jen, coming on to subscribers. She was doing it over the phone and over WhatsApp and everything. You've got her running off to America to shag a subscriber and no one's saying anything. So, it's one rule for one person and another rule for another. That's what I mean. I just think these lot are just nuts, crazy people. And I'm not really going to make MMD like too much. I'm not really that interested in her. I think she's been exposed recently as just being a fraud. Being I think the other day she was talking about how she can fight and she can take on two people at the same time. and all this lot, and I'm listening to her going, "What the fuck are you on about?" You know what I mean? Like, you could fight two people at the same time and do all this. I've got a clip of her saying that she was shot twice in her last job. And you know, I'm holding onto that clip, and I'm like, well, who are you trying to impress that you got shot twice in your last job? You know, when I listen to all these clips in their entirety, like in my library, you get like a better picture of what these people are all about. Now she's talking about private investigators that are looking into everybody, and you know, when you hear all these, they're mental. They're actually a bunch of crazy people. That's why I'm not really interested in her, because she she has basically been exposed as just a fraud. Yes, she knows Thomas Markle Jr.
I think
Yeah.
people like. I mean, I've got no beef with her personally. I mean, she did.
Oh, I
had a cleft palate, and then she had to apologise when I clearly have not got a cleft palate. And so,
Yeah.
what if I did? You know, it's just as ridiculous as when Recollections claimed I was Trevor's best mate, Charlie.
Yeah.
These
There's a
people
lot. There's a lot of
are crazy. To be
yeah.
fair. Crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's people accusing me of working with Bron. And I'm like, I've got no interest in Bron. I'm not working with Bron. She helped me out when I had a
I'm
strike.
going to be going on to one about Bron very soon. So watch this space.
Yeah, that's fine. You do what you need to do. But, you know, I've said there's only one person.
But it won't be because I'm not. It's not because I've stopped going after certain people. It's because Bron has she owes me a long overdue apology, and she lied about certain things, and I've got proof about that.
Yeah, I think back then there was a lot of lies going around about people.
I'm talking about the last 3-4 months. No, 6 months, if anything.
Okay, yeah, I don't really know what that's. But I'll wait for your video on whatever that is.
But it's not because it's because you know, I think she talks shit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is she hasn't.
Do you know, Alex? Here's one for you, right? So you know when she proclaimed that she was so worried about you and about after what Candor said about making, you know, when you harmed yourself and based on what Candor did allegedly, right? She claimed she was up all night and all worried and all this, right? So why was it that despite wanting him to back down and not and saying it's gone too far and telling MMD and that it's gone too far, it's got to stop, why would she then go and then encourage him to then make his channel monetized, and why would she then offer to become his manager?
Me personally, I think a lot of that was damage control so that they wouldn't get into trouble, so that Trevor wouldn't get into trouble, so that Candle wouldn't get into trouble if something happened to me, or if I, you know, because that's the big deal when you're encouraging somebody to do what Candle was saying to do. And I had Trevor on his channel calling me the cutter, and Fiona was calling me the cutter, you know. So it was those three. Candle started it, and then Trevor, I think, was the next person to call me that, and then Fiona started calling me that, even though I told her to stop. You know, she carried on. And I think probably Bron did it so to protect them from getting into any trouble if anything happened to me. I think that was what happened. That's just my opinion of what happened. She was protecting them and what could happen to them and their reputation more than what could happen to me.
But in that meantime,
I think she was.
When she did that, she then made that malicious copyright strikes on me.
Yeah, no, I just got to put it there. I think she was concerned as well.
So she was concerned about you,
she was
knowing about your mental health, but she knew about my mental health. But she took out copyright strikes on behalf of Candor as his manager. So she was worried about your mental health, and then so she was that concerned about the damage control. Why then did she put strain on my mental health and try to obtain my information.
Yeah, well, that's something you have to pick up with her. I think
What to
you
say,
know
Alex?
I've
Do you
got
genuinely think Bron was looking out for you? I believe she was.
well,
Was
I
using.
already said that I already said that I think she was looking out for Candor, Trevor, and for their interests, not so much mine. That's my opinion. Because I've got clips of her at that time boasting about. Do you remember when ORMV was trying to get me to go on the channel and talk about Jen? And I said no. And then she started making threats that she's going to contact Jen and she's going to make videos about it and all this lot. So I posted it on X and I said, look, this person is trying to. I posted our private DMs on X and I said, look, this person is trying to, blackmail me to go up and talk about something I don't want to talk about, you know. And I've got a clip of Bron on Candle sort of boasting about that OMV's going to destroy me, and I won't be able to handle her. This is a master manipulator and all this lot. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I don't think so, mate. You know.
Well, I mean, if you're
So,
going to take Bron,
so
do you think Bron's talking? Well, let's put it this way: this is the same woman that claimed she'd been to Dubai to go after Gropey Zappa. That was all bullshit.
yeah,
She's lied about a lot of
not.
things. She's a very big liar, Alex. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
take
but
her
she's she's not on my radar. Put it that way, because the things that other people have done to me, she hasn't even done. Not even a drop in the ocean she's done to what other people have done. I think probably with you, she was probably not hired, but she was took on the role of maybe taking you down or discrediting you and things like that on behalf of other people. Trevor, Candor.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, Swan?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
I think she took. Yeah, I think she took on that role for them, but she's not done that with me. She's not come after me in that way. She said things on channels about me, but she's not come after me. No, nothing like those. Like, I would say the worst one that's come after me is Fiona. Actual that's gone to the lengths of claiming that I exposed my arse on camera and actually took malicious strikes on my channel to take me down and obtain my personal details and boast about it. And she's got people like Denise to attack me. And back then Candle was attacking me as well. So I think with Fiona, she's done a lot more physical kind of stuff that way, threatening me with arrest. She posted some a thing that she did in her country where she signed a piece of paper to send to the Metropolitan Police to have me arrested for what? You know, she's saying that I made threats to her family. I haven't made threats to her family. She's made two videos about me that have had about 20, 30,000 views. Where people are calling me crazy and nuts because she played that clip where I had a go at her. Because I just got fed up with the stuff she was calling me. Do you know what I mean?
I
And she
mean,
played that on the channel without giving any context. And then she had Denise Burnside on her panel saying, I don't know why he had a go at you. All you were there was to talk about, baking a cake. You know what I mean? When Burnside knew exactly why I was annoyed with Fiona, you know. So she's actually gone on to make videos in Candor as well. The amount of videos he's made about me, going back to a year, and I'm talking about he'll talk about me for an hour or two. The ones that he made last year, it was literally he's titled them Alex there's something. He's done the same with Christina, made a whole video about her, about Isabella, about Jean. How many videos have you made about Jean? Just dedicated solely to, spinning the narrative that she's crazy. So when you're talking about Bron, and then you compare her to someone like Candor or Fiona or Denise, even, Denise has become just as bad as Candor with her
isn't it
attacks
isn't
on
it
people.
interesting though? Isn't it interesting how Bron self-admittedly said she works with the likes of the Polish military.
Yeah.
If you're going to be, if your job is to work with militaries, you can easily work with royal families for security reasons.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So,
Okay. I'm getting a call now. Let me just check the time because I've got to do something. Okay, so I can 12:58. I'm talking 12 minutes. Yeah, I can be 12 minutes. I've got something to do. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going around where people are flexing that they got connections. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going around. Um, MMD is a master at doing that. Giving hints that she's involved with something, or she's got some information, or she's got some past job that gives her special access to something. I
the
think they
funny
all
thing
do
is,
it, and I think it's just yeah,
it's funny because I've been accused. I'm the complete opposite. I don't say much about myself, and yet I'm supposedly a spy and all sorts. So it's funny. You could say nothing in this community and still get accused of. So you might.
oh yeah.
You know what? I might as well have said I'm a spy and all sorts because it would probably go. It wouldn't. No one would budge an eyelid because everyone else talks a load of shit.
Yeah, it's a spin that they put on people, the labels that they put on people, but it's not working anymore. Slime. People aren't listening to people like Candor when they talk. Like I said, not a single person in his chat criticised me or went against me or agreed with him and Juanita. And there was a time where people would have done. They would just agree with these people. But the constant money asking as well, I think that's putting people off.
Talking about money,
yeah.
People have been complaining about the likes of certain channels being up and not getting taken down. There's ways that it's a well-known fact that people can get their YouTube channels if they get terminated, they can get them retrieved by hiring somebody. There's also people out there that are paid to take down channels, as in physically remove channels. There's a lot of people moaning about these channels, and there's a lot of if people are that bothered about these people, and if they caused them, let's just call distress, financial harm, etc., then there's means to get people removed if YouTube won't act. And if people have tried to get these channels removed by legit means, and they tried anything and everything to get them removed, and YouTube won't budge, then I don't see what issue there is in getting someone to pay someone to get these channels taken down.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. All I've been told by the authorities is just to collect information on Candor, which is what I'm doing.
But you told me, Alex, listen to the police. So what avenue? If you can't trust the police, where else do you go with this? The only way I can think of is to pay to get somebody to take down the channels.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about that. I would assume that's something to do with mass reporting, that they can.
No. I'm talking about forget mass reporting, as in pay somebody independent, not who doesn't work for YouTube, as in somebody that's got quite clever tech skills online.
Yeah, I don't think that. I'm not sure that would work because
you can fake buying subs, right? You can buy subs. You can buy viewers.
Oh yeah, don't just doing that.
Fake commenters in the chat. Or you can also pay to get the channel retrieved, and you can also pay somebody to get channels taken down.
Yeah, well, if they can do that, that's good. But my thing is just to expose them. I'm actually working on something now with Candle with his shed, because I've gone back to last year. Somebody criticised his garden. I think it was maybe Tristina said something about his garden. He made like an hour live, and he showed a lot of pictures about his garden. So a couple of days ago, he was asking for donations for his fence. He wanted to put a fence up. And I posted a clip of him saying that the housing association last year, this was on his video last year, they replaced his fence. So all along he's been telling people that the housing association will not pay a penny towards his garden, but yet he's there saying that they replaced his fence last year. This was on a video that he made last year. Now he's asking for funds for a new fence to put up on the right side of his garden where he's got a 3-foot wall. Now, anybody that knows anything knows that you cannot do that when you're renting, when you're with the council or housing association. You cannot build anything on a structure, which is a wall. It's a 3-foot wall, and he wants to put a fence there. You cannot do that. If I rent a property out, my tenants are not allowed to touch anything structural that's there. They're not allowed to replace a fence or put a bigger one or take one out and put something on, or they're not allowed to do that. Anyone with any sense would know it's a housing association property. Why would he be spending thousands of pounds on it? He said he spent thousands of pounds on it last year, and now he's saying he needs thousands more to fix the garden back up. It's not even his house. It's not his garden.
If
It's
people
not
are,
his house.
if people
People are thick.
if people want to hand over money for whatever cause, then they've been encouraged and informed that it's not a legitimate it's not a legitimate cause. There's people online that have been asking for money.
You disappeared, Slime. Slime? You there? Hello. All right, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, if people want to donate money to whatever, let them do it, Alex. You can't. I've decided. I've come to the conclusion. People are going to be stupid for. If people.
Oh no, they can do it, and good luck to them wasting their money. But I'm still going to call them out because his latest thing is asking for donations for a legal letter that he wants to send to YouTube about Michelle's the strike that he put on her. Now, if people open their eyes and understand what happens, he's got 10 days not to show a legal letter to YouTube. He has to prove to the YouTube that he started legal proceedings in court, that he's filed court papers to challenge to basically compensate him for them using his copyright. Now he has to prove that they made money from it. So if I go and steal content off a big creator, yeah, and I use it on my channel and I get 2 million views and I get £500,000, they can sue me and take that money back off me. Now Michelle isn't monetized. She hasn't made any gains from that. He has to prove to a court that the content that she took, she profited from it, and she didn't.
The thing is, I'm not slagging Candle off here. I'm just saying him and Bron last year tried to claim that I'd used like a few seconds of his copyrighted material and said they were taking me to court. But all they were doing is trying to obtain my information by making malicious copyright strikes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But what?
No one's taking anybody to court. I think we've worked it out now.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah. But let me explain something. The difference with what he's doing now, he's asking for donations for that. He was asking for 80 quid for a legal letter so that he can start legal proceedings against her, and he's going to get £5,000 off her. Now, and he's saying he's got a benefactor. Well, if he's got a benefactor, why is he asking for donations of £80? So whoever this benefactor is, and I think it's probably Rocker. I think he's naive enough to give him that money on the thing that Campbell's going to get £5,000 out of it. Yeah, and he's going to give him a share of that £5,000 or something. He's that naive. Linda's got money, but I don't think she would do that, become a benefactor or whatever. I think he's lying, just to big himself up that he's someone important, that he's got, connections, people that will fund him for something. But the fact is, it's just it is another scam to get money off of people. You know, he's going to start leaking. He's going to get £5,000 off of Michelle. How's he going to start leaking? Do you know how much it costs to take someone to court if you live in the UK and they're in America? Just the decision of what jurisdiction it should fall under is going to cost him thousands.
Well,
They will have to go to court and argue it should be held in the UK law or it should be up to American law. And then the Americans will say, well, we got free speech. And then Michelle will say, well, it's public domain. So you made it public, you know, so it shouldn't be. So
it's
just those arguments between lawyers would cost thousands, you know.
It's funny.
And
If the likes of Candle, you know, listen to what I was saying about Michelle for the past year or two, wouldn't need to take her to court because I've been telling everyone what Michelle's like. So
yeah, well, no one's taking anyone to court.
Exactly.
So you know what, you know what, you've got people that are falling for it in this chat. You might have new subscribers that are coming. He's convinced them that he's gay and disabled and being bullied by people all over the place. People are stealing his content. They're using him, you know, and all this lot, and they'll give him money. You know, oh, there's this gay disabled guy on this channel that's being bullied by other channels and they're taking his content and, you know, he's got nowhere to go, you know, but to take these people to court finally, you know, and you might have new subscribers do that, like Rocker, who doesn't know, he's not been here long enough to know what Candle is really like, how nasty he is, how vicious he is, you know, because, you know, I think Candle said before that they talk over WhatsApp. So Candle's in his ear, you know, telling him this and that or whatever, you know, where to go, what channels to go on and all the rest of it. But you have people like Rocker, and Rocker is very naive, you know, he's getting involved in talking about calling people pistina and, you know, all of this lot. And he doesn't know the backstory to what really happened in that. You know, you're talking about a situation where Candle had, he was talking about Denise's granddaughter. What happens 2 days later? He's making a big thing that he's, and I've got the recording. He did say, he openly said, I'm thinking of committing S, you know, and he's telling people not to contact him because he doesn't know what he's going to do to himself and all this lot. And he openly said that. So Christina, what'd she do? She was concerned. You know, she called the authorities. They went to his house when he said he was in hospital, and they found him at home and he was okay. You know, so he got outed. And what did he do? He blames it all on Bron. When, you know, oh, she was manager of my channel at that time and, you know, she done that without my permission. We all know that that never happened. It would have been Candle that would have been telling her what to put there. And it looked better for him having somebody else say it rather than him say it. Because then he can come back on and say, "Oh, I didn't really want to talk about this, but you know, it was posted on my channel, and you know, all the rest of it." You know, so
it's funny, Alex, because people say a lot of things. Like, I'll give you one about Bron. So she came on when working for Candor, right? She said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm recording everything. I'm recording everything about like whatever people were sharing about Candor, or whatever." So why is it the other month? I said, I'm building an archive of my material, right? Seeing as you recorded everything, Bron, your words, Bron, could you send me some bits? And she only had like, she then claimed to have very little. So, Bron, you said you were saving everything for legal reasons, Bron. Where is it all?
well, I'll tell you a fact.
I challenge Bron to post up everything she's got. All my streams, Bron. You have my absolute permission, Bron, to put up on anywhere on YouTube, Rumble, you know, on Mars, if you like. Post all my content, Bron. You have my absolute guarantee there'll be no repercussions. Post all my content, Bron, if you have been recording everything on YouTube like you've been claiming to have done.
You know what, Slime? I've got all of your stuff, everything.
You've got what? Sorry?
But I've got all of your stuff, all of your past stuff when you was with Denise and.
Do you know what? I'd love to have it, Alex, because I
do, honestly, yeah. That's no joke. I think I posted a couple of clips as well from your a live that you did with Denise last year, I think November, when she was on your panel.
Do you know what? If you know,
And
you can post it. I don't care. I would like it if I've been
no,
honest.
no, you're not. No, no. The only stuff I'm interested in on your lives is nothing that you've said. It's stuff that Denise has said.
No. I don't care. I'd like to see it again. That's all.
Yeah. So that's
Because unfortunately,
well,
besides the one time I did take my channel down, the other times have been when YouTube have been working on behalf of the aggressors and took down my channels for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do make threats to children or women or or grandmothers or whatever, YouTube condone it. So unfortunately, I haven't got as much of my archive as I would like.
Yeah, it's mad. I think I posted. I think Eric actually played a few of my clips where Candle was making threats to his daughter and granddaughter. Said he will find them. That's basically his words. He will find where they live, and let's see how you like it. Basically, you know what I mean. So they're falling out with the grandfather, but he wants to go after his daughter and granddaughter. You know what I mean? And YouTube, you're right. They condone it. That's why I challenge anyone to go after any of my clips, because YouTube will write to me, and my response back is just highlighting the abuse that they're.
It does make a belief, Alex, because like I was telling you the other week, I literally I got my last channel terminated for making copyright strikes about other.
Yeah. Oh, you gone. Slightly there, but
yeah, I have my own record label, and YouTube still don't see why I should be making copyright strikes out of people, but they'll keep channels up that attack people, that go around calling people rapists. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah. That's what I don't get. It's the children one that gets me, because you can say what you want to an adult. You can. We all do it. We all say stuff about people and they say stuff back. But when you start bringing children into it, it becomes normal. It's normalised for someone
Alex, I'm glad you said about that, because you do know when I've mentioned Gertie Root in the past, I know you've not really commented on it, but you do know she doxed a woman in her child's dress, right?
I don't know anything about that. I've heard about stuff
Do you know Ems? Do you know Ems?
Yeah, I know her channel. Yeah, I watched her.
Gertie Root doxed her and her daughter's and her dress, and she's got a young child.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if she did, then that's not good.
And also, she did that.
I don't know, but
along with the late Graham Hesketh. Did you know? So
oh yeah, great. Graham's involved in a lot of stuff.
So Gertie Root seems to get a free pass, but she not only attacks children, but she also attacks and docks people with children. And she keeps saying, I doxed. Good. But she keeps saying I doxed her when it was Michelle and Kaylee. And
yeah, but there's a big difference to what Candle's doing. There's a big difference. So
no.
Openly,
Gertie's done just as much.
Yeah, I don't know, but I wasn't around in that community at that time to know enough about any of that stuff. Ems, I maybe watched her maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe watched her a few times, found her boring. It's the same with Brittany. I just find it
very boring.
She's
very boring, and she's going around like she's never been old at all. But she got her hands dirty. Trust me.
Yeah. I don't know. Slime, I have to go. I've actually got a call in 3:30, but I've just got to get ready. I want to make. I like to have a cup of tea when I'm on these work calls. So prepare for that. Yeah.
No, good to chat.
Yeah. All right. So take care, everyone.
Take it easy. Bye bye. Cheers, Alex. So yeah, I've been having some tech issues. At the start of the stream, I thought I'd solved my my wireless connection to my PC, but even with having solved the Wi-Fi extender issue, it's still dropping out. So the wall must be very fucking built like a shit house. Am I even talking? Yes. Would anyone else like to come up quickly? I'll give it a minute or two for people to decide, and then failing that, I'm going to jump off. Hello, Sheena. I don't believe I've seen you around before, but hello. Hippity Hop. Hello, Trisina. Poppy's here. Cheryl, hello. Defender, Lucia's here. Hello, Isabella. No, you're not blocked. Oh yeah, Ron made up a story about you as a social experiment. Yeah. She also, don't forget, she wanted to know where me and my wife and my baby was when he was born, what hospital he was in, to send us flowers apparently. But obviously I never fell for that. So but yeah, Bron's getting exposed, trust me. I know that's a good point. That's a good point, Isabel. I know you've probably gone now, but it's funny. The people that have had their children attacked, they're over there like they're over there as if nothing's happened. Okay. Would anyone like to hit the link? I'm gonna go shortly. I have to apologise, Sheena. I've literally been AWOL a lot of the time, and I'm often medicated to high heaven, so I have no. Yeah, there's two chats. If you read the ticker on the bottom of the screen, it will tell you about where to watch. Yeah, my short-term memory is actually really shit, but my long-term memory is not good. So I can recall what happened last year, but if you tell me something a month ago, I have no idea what. I have no recollection of it now. Yeah, all is well, thank you. He's got his first tooth through now. So, yeah, all good. I'll tell you what I did create. I don't know, I'll give you a little exclusive. Let me find it. I think, let me show you. I think I'll give you a little peek if I can find it. Hang on. I haven't decided where the channel should go yet. What purpose it should be. Whether it should be an actual. Oh, where's the filter? I see it. There's channels. Where is it? Give me a second. Give me a second. Still getting my head around the layout because I've been away for a while. Give me a second. So I think it's about time that a proper YouTuber that does investigative work investigates Megxit. What Megxit is supposed to be about the fraudulent coup, Harry and Meghan. So I think I should get on some proper people about Megxit on my channel, and the rest is Megxit, and we'll do a proper deep dive into the dodgy two in Want to Shit Show. That's the channel you're going to want to watch for real insight about Megxit, not the drama that's unfolded as a psyop show. Stop shit. That is where we want to be. Can I take it no one else is going to head up? One last chance. Yeah, thanks, Cheryl. Just going to be, it'll be if I do it, it'll be a heavy hitted discussion about the goings on and goings out in the royal family and Megxit. That I'm dying to speak to that Lindsay. Is it Lindsay Schofield? That has a Megxit channel, but she often goes on Talk TV. Okay, right. I think that's going to be that then. I'm going to leave it there. It's been a test stream, so sorry about the technical issues. I'm still going to have to work on it. But yeah. Anyway, good to see you all, and as always, may the slime with you. Peace out. Good night. God bless.
Where the soft winds go.
until